How's everybody doing? I'm Deezil Greezil. It's time for me to hit you with some more real shit. Today is Sunday, April. What's today? The 21st, 22nd, April the 21st. It's the following week after the Boston Marathon bombing, which was followed by the fertilizer explosion in West Texas. Just wanted to talk to y'all, bring a few things to y'all attention that you may be aware of, you may not be aware of, may not feel it affects you. It's not really my concern. My concern is that you guys are given an alternate perspective than the bullshit that the media is feeding you. I'm not a journalist, just a regular dude who uses logic and common sense. And shit looks funny. Shit looks funny, as everyone knows, we had the bomb go off near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, which led to the manhunt for the two terrorists, and which eventually led to the city of Boston being locked down, placed under martial law for a significant amount of time, and one of the suspects dying and the other one having some severe injuries and being taken into custody, and everyone applauding the city of Boston's finest as like they're some type of heroes or whatnot. First of all, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not one of those people who didn't think that the bombing happened. I believe the bombing happened. I believe lots of innocent people were hurt and killed. I don't doubt any of those. I'm just doubting a lot of the information and what was the cause of this actual bombing. You got the two suspects, a 26-year-old and a 19-year-old young man who basically have no prior criminal history. They don't leave any sort of manifest saying, hey, we want to take out Americans because of this. Which are usually things that are associated with some sort of terrorist attack. Terrorist attacks usually don't happen without the proposed terrorist stating exactly why he's doing it. It makes no sense to blow up something unless you have a cause. You can't be you can't be a terrorist without a cause. And up until this point, we have no cause, no motive, no anything. They just expect you to believe that these two young men went off of the deep end and decided that they were going to hurt people. Is that a totally non-plausible scenario? No. It happens. Do I think that's what happened during this event? Not at all. If you look at the actual evidence that led to the suspects being named, there is none. You got a video and a picture of two young men wearing hats and backpacks at a sporting event. That's it, You don't see them planting any bombs. You don't see them making any threats. You don't find explosives at their home. You have a video of two young men who, by the way, the FBI had been in contact with for the previous 4 years, and they are accused of being terrorists on American soil. Then you have this crazy shootout that's supposed to have taken place, Grand Theft Auto style, where first they say that the two young men carjacked someone, and they take the time during the carjacking to say, hey, Mr. Guy that we're carjacking, we are the Boston Bombers, and that's why we're carjacking you for your vehicle. In my opinion, that's a bit far-fetched. You're carjacking someone, this bitch, get out the car or I'm going to kill you, Not going to take the time to tell you information that could potentially incriminate me and to let you leave unharmed and unscathed. That right there makes absolutely no sense. Then they go on this high-speed car chase, throwing grenades out of the windows at the police, but yet there's absolutely no footage of this car chase. I watch Spike TV all the time, America's Craziest Car Chases. Cop cars have cameras on them, I've been arrested before, They have cameras, and I find it extremely hard to believe that you have this extensive car chase chasing two alleged terrorists, and we have no footage of this massive shootout that these two young men with no military training took Boston's finest on. Then you have the shootout going on. No helicopters called in. I mean, I live in the hood. They bring out the fucking ghetto bird for anything. You know what I'm saying? We have crackheads steal cars and go on high-speed chases in the day, and Channel 25 News is right there filming it, bringing it to you, giving you play-by-play like they're Pat Summerall and John Madden. You know what I'm saying? But ironically, we have absolutely no footage of this car chase in which the victim, well, I'm not, maybe, I don't want you to get the wrong idea because I'm calling the man that died a victim, but he is dead, which makes him a victim. He wasn't brought to justice, as many people think, because there's no justice without due process. He was not afforded that right. So they say that his brother ran over him in his attempt to get away in the vehicle that was carjacked. But we have an eyewitness who says that the police ran over him and then pumped his body full of bullets. Then you find this guy naked. How did he get naked? You know, there's no footage of him being naked engaged in this shootout, but they find the dead body ran over and naked and pumped full of bullets. And then you have footage of the shootout, but it's dark as hell. The footage of the shootout that they do show doesn't prove that anyone was in the shootout. All you see is some cop cars and here's some bullets. We don't know who the fuck they're shooting at. We don't know who's being shot at. It proves absolutely nothing. If this was a court of law, that footage would be shit. Because it doesn't show anything at all. It doesn't. Alright? You have the suspect's aunt, who's a lawyer in Canada. She says, that she feels her nephews were set up. And she knows that the FBI have been in contact with them. And the FBI have been in contact with them for the past 4 years. So I find it hard to believe that they're planning any sort of terrorist activity in this day and age where everything is monitored and the FBI who's been in contact with them has no idea that this is planning. Then the day of the bombing, you got all types of undercover military personnel there and reports of them telling people to stay calm before the bombs go off. And ironically, coincidentally, like in the movies, when the bombs go off, you have people there on the scene that's ready to go into triage mode and start saving lives with supplies on hand. Wow. Big coincidence. Big fucking coincidence. But back to this car chase and things like that, okay. Well, one of the suspects dies during the shootout, and then the 19-year-old who looks like the white version of Trayvon Martin, looks like a fucking kid, he shoots out with the police and then escapes on foot a la Chuck Norris or Mel Gibson style. No military training, one person shoots out with the police, lives to tell about it, escapes on foot. Not the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I have played Grand Theft Auto. And I know that once you achieve a certain amount of stars based on your criminal activity, they start bringing out more and more reinforcements. And I've never really survived any of those shootouts in Grand Theft Auto. I'm pretty good at video games. But this white little kid with no military training, he don't got semi-automatic weapons, he don't got nowhere near the firepower or the manpower. He survives. He basically kicks the police ass that night. 1 for the terrorists, 0 for the police. Basically. He kicks ass. Go figure. And then the next day, they launched the manhunt. Where unbeknownst to you ignorant motherfuckers, they locked down the city of Boston. I'm like, locked down like you see overseas. Not anything that you've seen on American soil, where they completely shut down the city. No public transportation, no school, no businesses, no nothing. Military personnel driving down your streets telling you, keep your ass in the house, don't come out of your house, or shit's gonna hit the fan. And the American people just take it. They just take it like a Saigon whore getting paid to get fucked in the ass. But they just take it like, hey, Nothing about this seems strange. Nothing about this seems fucking strange. Now, when the DC sniper was sniping motherfuckers, they didn't lock down the whole fucking city. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. When 9/11 happened, they didn't lock down the whole fucking city. But for one suspect, it's not like they had linked him to any terrorist organization and thought that maybe he was going to try to get to his homeboys, get some reinforcements. One teenage kid locked down the whole city for like 7 hours. Wow. Seems to be a bit much. Seems to be a bit much. And then, after the lockdown comes to an end, about 45 minutes later, you hear gunfire and we found him. Now, let me get this right. You could not find him at all during this lockdown when there's no movement in the city. But when you lift the lockdown, somehow you miraculously find him. And you find him hiding in a boat. Ironically, the homeowner where the boat was dry docked at, he says he came out of his home and saw the kid laying out there in his backyard covered in blood with injuries. But you stage this event that when you find him, you hear about 40 rounds of machine gun bullets being pumped into a boat. And then the suspect is apprehended unharmed with an undisclosed amount of injuries. And guess what? He can't talk. Of course not. Of course not. You know? It doesn't add up, man. You're being force-fed, all type of shit. Oh, let me back up. I know y'all seen the image of the guy in the wheelchair that looks like a character on my favorite show, The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Who has both of his legs blown off with the tourniquets wrapped on his legs with absolutely no blood. Not a drop of fucking blood. Not a drop of blood. Let me tell you something about blood. If your bitch can get period spots on her panties when she's using tampons and pads, a motherfucker got his legs blown off, it's gonna bleed. I don't give a fuck how tight you tie tourniquet. It's gonna be some sort of blood residue, something on the wheelchair, no blood, on the wheelchair, no blood anywhere. So, in the process of him getting his legs blown off, he got his legs blown off, but he was close enough to the bombers who have no injuries to be able to accurately identify them as the bombers. Now, how close would he have had to have been to them to be able to identify them, see them, but yet you get your legs blown off and they don't get injured at all? Not even a little bit. Not a fucking scrape, not a scratch. But you lost both your legs. So that's like, you know, I mean, Mike's across the street. I see Mike, he sees me. Bomb goes the fuck off. I lose my legs. Mike doesn't even get phased at all. Scary. How does that happen? And I don't know about you, but if I lose my fucking legs in an explosion, first thing I'm looking at is my fucking legs. I'm not looking around trying to accurately identify who's the responsible party. Because all around you is chaos. It's women and children screaming. It's athletes. I mean, it's fucking chaos. But you're able to not only get your legs blown off, but accurately identify the bombers. And when you're in a hospital, they bring you the footage or the still shots of the camera and say, hey, were these the two men that bombed you? And you're like, I'm certain, without a shadow of a doubt, that the reason my legs got blown off because of the actions of those two men. Even though you didn't see them detonate anything, you didn't see them planting any bombs, you didn't see any of that shit. It's bullshit, man. I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. You shouldn't either. You know, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I suggest you guys go to some other websites other than CNN and Fox News. Check out some alternative sources like Infowars.com. Go on YouTube and watch some of the videos and just take in the information. There's a lot of information. And just form your own conclusion. I know a lot of y'all are sheeple, and you're going to believe anything someone tells you. More power to you, man. To each his own. But as long as I have the gift of independent thought, I got to think independently, man. I got to be able to form my own conclusions. You know, be catching a lot of flack on Facebook. People just like, oh, you conspiracy theorists, yada, yada, yada. Man, to be honest, the conspiracy theorist is going to save your life. Because shit is happening all around you, whether you accept it or not. You don't have to believe in some shit for it to be true. You don't have to believe in God for God to exist. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not you believe in some shit, that doesn't change the fact that something is going on. And terrorist attacks don't happen on American soil without American government knowing about it. We're the most powerful nation in the world. We got more fucking technology than anyone. Man, we monitor every fucking thing. They got satellites, man, that can tell you how many hairs you got on your balls, man. If you come to your window naked. If anything like this is going on, they knew about the shit. They could have prevented it, much like 9/11. And coincidentally, why is it that every time some shit happens, there's always a simultaneous FBI exercise that's going on within a 50 to 100 mile radius of whatever the event? 9/11, they were conducting drills in case some shit like that happened. At the same time, some shit like that was happening. Sandy Hook, they're conducting drills like this. Just in case the school gets shot up, this is how we're going to handle it. Simultaneously as it's happening. And Boston was no different. They were conducting bombing drills at the same time this shit is happening. It's a lot of coincidences, man. You know what I'm saying? You believe what the fuck you want to believe. I'm just here to give you the information. Draw your own conclusion, man. Shout out to everyone who is... Shout out to everyone who has sense enough to not believe everything that they see or hear and that can follow the logic. Because if you follow the logic, it'll take you places, man. It will take you lots and lots of places. And I don't want to get into the fact that the FBI advised them not to read this dude his rights and all type of shit. This is America, man. You know what I'm saying? Much like they hunted out Christopher Dorner with drones. I mean, the rules of engagement are changing as we speak. And I just hope that I'm not next and you're not next. I'm going to wrap it up for now. I'm going to probably have some more videos coming with more subject matter. I want to talk about West, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video because the video is already going a little longer than I anticipated. But I advise y'all to stay tuned, man. Shit's getting real. I'm out.